Alicia McKine, is there anything on your mind?
Today I've been thinking about coping strategies.
Yeah.
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 Because I've been doing a bit of coping over the last few months, and I know a lot of people that have been doing a bit of coping.
Yeah.
What's your key coping strategy?
Oh, God, put it on me. So if I'm really honest,
Yeah.
I cope by withdrawing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, it's all too hard, and so you won't get an email from me or a phone call from me or whatever from me.
I know.
Yeah. You're the reason.
No, I just know when you're
That's why we had a
gone.
break between season 1 and season 2. That's one of my coping strategies, and it serves me in the short term, no question. Doesn't serve me in the long term.
Yeah.
And I've learned, actually I need to contact this person, or I need to engage, or whatever it is. So that's one. I mean, a healthier one is just exercise. You know, all the normal ones, right?
Oh, exercise is everything.
Awesome. Like, I'm going windsurfing after this, right?
Okay.
It's just, Actually, can we finish? We made this really short. So, why do you ask me the question though?
Oh, I've just been thinking about like what your go-tos are, and you've already answered half of my thought process, because it's like, which of our coping strategies are healthy ones? So we get to be like, yes, well, first I write about it in my journal, and then I meditate, and then I go for a run, and then I talk to a friend, and then I just breathe.
And do you speak like that while you're
Yes,
doing
you
it?
must. You must speak like that while you're coping in a healthy pattern. And then, like, what are the ones where you're like, oh, dude, honestly, I have 4 glasses of wine with my dinner, and then I don't talk to my friends for 2 weeks, and then I just like lie on the couch and marinate in my own filth, or whatever. So one of mine is work.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and so I'm like, sorry, can't possibly deal with any of these things right now. I'm very busy.
Yep.
Too many
Been
things,
busy.
too many meetings, too many things to do.
Yes, and speaking like that too will really be convincing.
Okay, are we going to keep having a crack at
Yes, we are.
Good.
There's 2 levels of conversation here.
And so what I think is interesting about the one you said about the hermiting, because I do a bit of the hermiting too,
Yeah, hermiting. It's a good word.
is what's interesting about it is that it's the exact opposite of the thing that you should do to feel better.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you kind of know that in your head too. So if you're the person that binge eats when they feel like crap, you're like, I would feel best if I went for a run.
Yeah.
But instead, I'm going to eat all of these chips.
Yeah.
Or you're like, I would feel best if I talked to Alicia for 12 minutes on the phone, but instead, I'm going to avoid all text messages for 2 weeks. You know, like, and then so, what is this?
Ooh,
What is this
was it 2
asshole?
weeks?
No, I don't know.
I thought it was 10 days.
What is this asshole brain thing in your head that's like, I know what'll fix you, don't do it.
Yeah, because I'm not worth it. I'm not worth it.
Oh, that's
I reckon
it,
a
isn't
lot of
it?
people have that as the reason. I don't deserve that, so I'll make it hard for me.
You've got it.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's the shame thing. It's like, I'm not coping, which is indicative of something
right.
that's broken in me. Therefore, I should suffer.
I should suffer. That's it, exactly.
Oh.
Thank you, Brené Brown.
Thank you, Brené Brown.
Yeah.
It's hard to be nice to yourself if you think you screwed up, eh?
Yeah, totally. So that's interesting because it's a coping strategy. I actually don't like the word coping because to me it's sort of
It's a pretty mediocre goal.
It is. Right, I just cope. I'll
Yeah.
just make it okay. And look, I understand because sometimes life overwhelms us, and often more than sometimes, right?
Yeah.
And so I totally get that, but couldn't we aspire to more than coping? And I reckon that's...
So like sometimes yes and other times no.
Yeah.
And it's a bit horses for courses because it's like overall we should be aiming to just continue to be tracking upward and to be ready for bullshit and to be feeling pretty good. And some days or some weeks, coping is a high goal and just aim for that.
Just get through the week.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This week's been one of those for me, to be honest.
But then how do you close it off, right? Because I've been crapping on about this amazing book that I love, Burnout by the Nagoski sisters, and all they talk about is, hey, cool, do what you got to do, but you've got to complete your stress cycle if you want to put it away. Otherwise, you keep it, right? So if you're going to cope for a week, yeah, cool, go, mate.
Yeah.
But how are you going to finish that off and close it out?
Closing out is one way. So I think that's an important part of the ritual, part of the process. So yesterday in Changemakers, we talked about, we did a hack where we went, okay, what brings you alive? Right?
Ooh.
Now that question is
that's a
not
good question.
what helps you cope.
Yeah.
They're very, very different ideas.
Lights you up.
Yeah, and we did start with what lights you up, and I went, no, it's what brings you alive.
That's so
And
good,
so
Dix.
one thing I said, which was really interesting, and I was surprised because I thought, I'm going to be a bit brave here. I wrote crying, right? Yeah. Such a typical response from you. So there was a whole lot of posts on the board, and someone said, who wrote crying? And I
Oh,
said,
please tell me no one cried in the session.
No.
Oh, thank God for
I
that.
don't think so.
Oh, I've got like a...
Yes, they did.
Oh,
Not there.
yuck!
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah. It was worthy crying. But the point is, when I've cried recently, I have absolutely felt alive because it's like, I'm living. Here's me fully experiencing life. Again, this is kind of channeling the Brené thing, right?
Yeah.
But there's something quite powerful about, and that's not just coping.
Well, that's
That is
because you're
bringing
having
me.
the whole feeling.
Yeah.
You're having the whole one. Because my overwork thing is like, oh, I can feel a bit of a feeling coming on, and I've got this background app running of stress or anxiety or whatever that is. Let me just drown out the noise of that by focusing on this other thing. But it doesn't switch the background app off, right? No. Whereas if you fully experience the weight of your stress or your anxiety or your sadness or your grief or whatever that is, that's a completely different thing. Yeah. So when you're crying, you're like, yeah, man, I'm really fucking sad. So I'm going to have all my sadness right now.
Yeah, and go to feeling, not just head, right? That's what I'm learning.
Yeah,
and the other one I wrote down was music, right? And it's like music, not just because it's like, oh yeah, okay. It's like, man, music that goes, yeah, all of your fibers are going, this is amazing, right? Yeah. And so when you've got that or crying, it's all about the feeling, right? God, it sounds so woke.
You are the wokest.
Wokey woke. Strong woke character.
So when it comes to how you cope, A, is coping good enough? And no, says Digby. And B, when it does come to your coping strategies, are you doing things that actually serve you? Do you believe that you're worth helping out? And are you fully experiencing whatever it is you have to cope with? Or are you just running away? Stop running away. Don't cry though.
Come here. You can cry.
I mean, fine, just do it by yourself. I don't want to know about it.
I've got some tissues.
You can never cry, it's fine.
It's all good.